Alright, I thought I'd show you guys a quick little detail of how I did the hinges. There is 5 of them all together for this door, and that ended up being plenty as far as the strength of the hinges go. These are a 5/16. They're a GRK type screw, but they're not a brand name, but they're similar to a GRK. They've got very aggressive threads. They've got a big truss head. And I believe these are 2.5 inches long. And all I did here was I took a Forstner bit and did this, measured it and put the hole in, and then I just used my Sawzall. As you can see, there's kind of some scratches. It'll all cover up when it gets painted, but I just used a Sawzall to cut this out. I loaded, since your door is going to want to go that direction, you know, when it opens up, it's going to want to sag down. So I preloaded all of these hinge sides down as far as I could, so that they're automatically tilted down, so this door, when you open it, can't relax down because of the slop in the hinge. So that's how I installed those. There's 5 of them. Let me see if I can get I'll just take this out of the stand, so you can see there's 2 more up there. I let those out, and then there's 2 more down there. And one of the things I'm going to do next is I'm going to put braces up there, diagonals. And again, the door is going to want to go that way, which makes this diagonal get longer and this one get shorter. So I'm going to put braces in that are going to go like this, so that they're in compression. And I'm going to do that all the way across the top, because once I cut this door opening out, it's going to be a lot weaker. It won't have the panel strength that it does right now. So the door definitely moves the building. I'm also going to have to put a corner brace in here under tension, because when you open the door, it actually flexes the building over a little bit because it's tall. So I'm going to put 1 corner brace in and see if that helps a lot, and if not, I'm actually going to put a 2nd corner brace in over there. So I'm going to get started on this here in a little bit, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start measuring up for these braces. So I'm going to cut these flat on a 45, which means they're going to go in there just like they're orientated in the wall now. That may not make sense, but it will when you see it. Almost out of juice. Alright, I'm going to measure it one more time because I don't trust myself. Both my batteries died, so I gotta get them charged, but I'll go ahead and explain what's going on here. So, first of all, my cuts are more than 45 degrees, and so my little saw won't go all the way through, so I have to do some janky crap trying to take the little bit that's sticking out off. They ended up being about 50 degrees or 55, or you know, I tipped them. My saw will go to 50, but I think it's even more than that. When you measure corner to corner in an opening, that's, I gotta see where you guys can see. Let's tilt it down a bit. All right, that is from this top corner to this bottom corner. That's your measurement. And so if you cut your board off to your diagonal measurement, you have to make sure that your corner to corner is still 45. So when you make your first cut, your opposite cut is gonna needs to be right on the line that you measured. So if I'm measuring corner to corner 40, or it's 27 1/8 in my case, I cut my board straight at 27 1/8, and then I cut my angles, but I make sure my diagonal stays 27 1/8. So it's not on the straight, it's on the diagonal that you're measuring. So my board actually ended up being, what is it on the straight? It was short. If it's 27 1/8 on the diagonal, straight across it ends up being like 26 7/8 or something like that. So it's not much, but it does make a little bit of a difference. I measured the diagonal and marked it from the corner, and then I used my straight edge to project up where the line actually landed. So when you do that, that's just something you need to remember. Anyways, I gotta go charge these batteries, so be back in a little while. So this is what the layout looks like. It's 27 inches from the tip to this point right here where my thumb's at. Then because it's a 45-degree cut, I run it back so it gives me the line to cut on the face, because they're parallel cuts. So it's 27 from tip to tip. Now if I tape that, sorry about the wobbly guys, that ends up being just a touch under 27. I mean, it's not going to be much. I'd have to actually use the square to check it, but it's like 26 7/8, 26 15. But it does give me the angle where I'm actually going to cut, which is, in this case, 25 1/2. All right. All right, guys, so this is the framing, how it ended up. I just did what I could with the pieces that I had. So the two in the middle are more than 45 degrees. I was trying to get them to go from top to bottom, but that ended up being a pain in the ass. So the two on your right side of the screen, those are cut at 45s. And the third one in on the left is also, no, excuse me, the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one in and the sixth one in, the little tiny one, are also cut at 45s. And then I had a little piece of scrap left over, so I ended up having to cut that at 35 degrees just to get the bracing in there and to get it to fit. So that's why it's at that funny angle. But hopefully that will keep the wall from deflecting once I cut the door opening. And then I tried one of these off of Amazon, these magnetic, you put them on your wrist and it's supposed to, can you guys even see that? Probably not. Let's try that again. So I bought one of these magnetic wrist thingies, supposed to, you know, stick screws on it and it stays with you. Well, the problem is they come off. I was thinking that whoever manufactured it would put rare earth magnets in there, neodymium or something, and just not magnetic enough. So I'm gonna get on Amazon and call this thing a dud. And the other thing is this Velcro thing here sucks. It should have something that loops through and pulls back. So bad design. Don't buy it. Anyways, so I'm pretty much done with all the braces. I'm going to buy some OSB and do this side of the wall as soon as I get the door in. And then of course I got to buy one more piece of siding to do the top up there and get that done. So I'll show you guys the door next once I start installing that. It's a leftover door, and it's the old front door to my house. So we'll see how that goes because it's been sitting out for a while. So anyways, I will record some more when I get some more done. Bye.